How's it going, guys? My name is Jared and welcome back to MoneyMetEish. There are a few things in life that people pay for which we just accept without ever questioning the reason behind why we are actually paying for these goods or services. A piece written by Paul Theron in the Vestac Daily newsletter a few days ago got me thinking about life insurance and whether we, the MetEishes, really need it. The timing of Paul's piece was rather serendipitous, as I am currently facing the lapsing of all of my South African-based life insurance policies due to, let's call it, a series of unfortunate events. So, since MrsMetEish and I find ourselves faced with these current challenges, we thought we would ask the question, do we really need life insurance? So, today, we will go over what life insurance is, why people pay for it, and the pros and cons of taking out life insurance as we try to answer this question. As always, before we get started, please remember that my videos do not constitute financial advice and should not be used as the basis for any financial or investment decisions, as they are meant for edutainment purposes only. Please also remember that I am not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice, and this is a blank cup. Blank cups. Put your logo on my cup. For more information about blank cups and how to work with MoneyMetEish, contact us via email at moneymeteish@gmail.com or on any of our social media channels. Please also hit that like button, comment and subscribe down below, and ring the bell to be notified when we upload new videos. By saying that this is a personal finance decision, and personal finance is, as the name suggests, very personal. You need to take your personal situation into account, speak to your financial advisor, preferably an independent financial advisor, and make a decision based on your personal situation. So, what is life insurance? What does it do? And why do you need it, if you need it? Life insurance is a contract between an insurance company or insurer and a person being insured, where the insurance company promises to pay out a lump sum upon the passing of the insured person. Using our own situation as an example, I pay, they who shall not be named, a monthly fee of 640 Rand to get life insurance, severe illness cover, which actually doesn't even cover my autoimmune disease, even though it was not a pre-existing condition before I signed the contract. Anyway, as well as disability cover and final expense cover. If I just consider my insurance, I pay 240 Rand for 1 million Rands cover, which means that if I assume that I will live until the average life expectancy in South Africa of 64, which is almost 20 years shorter than the life expectancy in Taiwan, where I actually live, I will be paying 460,000 Rand for MrsMetEish and our hypothetical maybe children to receive a little over double that amount, which, even disregarding inflation, is a pretty poor investment. Now, I know that insurance is a tax and not an investment, but maybe it doesn't have to be such a bitter pill to swallow. Let's explore some of our options a little bit. The main reason is that it gives your family some sort of financial stability when the inevitable happens and you are no longer around. This might seem like it applies to everyone, but in Paul's rather short piece, he suggested that it doesn't, and I tend to agree with him. I would say that there are a few situations where having life insurance makes sense and should definitely be considered. If you are in more debt than your emergency fund can cover in the event of your passing, or you have financial dependents, be that a spouse or a child, parent, grandparents, etc., that are wholly reliant on your income and financial support, then the argument for having a life insurance policy gets much stronger. If, however, your spouse or children are fairly self-sufficient, then the case for the need for this policy might not be as strong. If I look at our own personal situation again, MrsMetEish and I are independent in our ability to earn. We have no children and would both be self-sufficient in the case that one of us was no longer around. I know this is not the case for everyone, but it certainly isn't too uncommon either. The thought of a cash injection in this extremely difficult time is a nice to have, but realistically, given our geographical location, the language, cultural and health service differences between Taiwan and South Africa, the chance that this amount of money is going to soften the blow in any way is seemingly going to be negated by the massive amount of international financial bureaucracy, thus making an already difficult situation much worse. Considering some companies are so reluctant to pay out that family members have been known to bring corpses of their deceased loved ones as evidence, an unfathomably traumatic experience for everyone involved, and only a measure that would be taken in absolute desperation. This could be negated by us taking out a policy in Taiwan, but the main issue of us not having that many financial responsibilities post-life would still remain. Another aspect to consider is overlapping. MrsMetEish and I also have a retirement annuity which will pay out in the event of death, meaning we are basically running 3 separate life insurance policies and just opening ourselves up to more and more taxes. I'll link an article from MoneyWeb below where they go over what happens to your retirement annuity when you pass away. Basically, the two, the RA and life insurance, could be set up in a way that they operate very similarly, where the major difference between the two of them would be the extent to which you're taxed. Again, not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Consult your financial planner. But beware! Speak to your financial advisor about if you need both an RA and a life insurance policy, and get them to explain the pros and cons of having and not having it to you. Remember, they work for you. And then there's debt. If you take out a loan, a home loan or a personal loan, the company issuing that loan might require that you take out an additional insurance policy so that they still get their money back if the worst happens. This is just another overlapping policy, meaning that your loan is actually much more expensive now since you need to repay the loan and the interest and the insurance. No man, this is madness. These companies really have some cheek, and it infuriates me when I think of how they operate. But wait, there's more. The I word, the wealth killer, inflation. Since the life insurance policy is a set fee, unless you update the policy on a continuous basis to keep pace with inflation, your spouse or child or family, etc., could be sitting with far less in real terms than they are possibly expecting. This is definitely exacerbated in our current situation, where the inflation rate in Taiwan over the last 10 years has averaged only 0.87%, while South Africa's inflation over the same period has averaged 4.8%, and the rand has lost 40% of its value to the new Taiwanese dollar over the same period. There is a very real risk that our rand-based insurance policies will lose further value against the currency that we actually earn in. Again, this is not a concern to the majority of people who are going to watch this video, and certainly not to most South Africans. But that doesn't mean that you can't use this to your advantage, even if you're living and earning in South Africa. I'll tell you how in a little bit. How much is the average fee for a million rands cover? Both MrsMetEish and I have separate life insurance policies which will pay out roughly R1 million in the event of either of us passing. These policies are with 2 separate companies and we pay different amounts. This amount is inconsequential though. There is no amount of money which could be paid out which I would accept in exchange for the time that we get to spend together. But let's have a look at how much someone can expect to pay for the same amount of life insurance cover. As a 29-year-old male, the quotes I got from hippo.co.za were between 140 and 350 rand per month, meaning my 240 is sort of in the middle, with the cover ranging from 1 to 10 million rand. And one of the insurance providers actually offered 500 megabytes data if I signed up online. I didn't. While MrsMetEish and I were auditioning and taking meetings to find a new financial advisor, yes guys, you should 100% shop around for a financial advisor. Do not just take the first person you meet with, and please please do not just go to one of the big insurance companies, shop around. It's your money, it's your time, and they work for you. Anyway, while we were shopping around for a new financial advisor, we were made aware of a US dollar denominated insurance policy which will pay out $150,000 US for roughly the same amount that I am currently paying now. And they offer a fixed exchange rate. 10 years ago, the rand to the dollar exchange rate was 7 rand for $1. As of the time of recording this video, $1 will get you 15 rand and 27 cents. A 118% difference. If we look at the difference between 1995 and today, which is roughly the same distance in time as I am away from the life expectancy age in South Africa, that change goes up to 326%. So if we were to take out a life insurance policy, this dollar-denominated one would definitely be the one that we would take. It costs $50 a month, but I don't want to give them any free advertising though, so I won't be naming them. But it's not too difficult to find if you just look for it yourself. In conclusion, unless you are leaving behind some sort of financial obligation once you depart from this mortal plane, or if you are a young person who has very few responsibilities, I would seriously suggest you sit with your financial advisor and reconcile all of your policies that you currently have on your life. And reassess whether you really need all of them, or if you really even need half. Or if you're a young person and have very few financial obligations, if you need any of them at all right now. If, on the other hand, you have debt to cover or a family to take care of post your time on this earth, then a life insurance policy might be prudent to have and should form part of your broader death planning. But think about how much that money could be worth in real terms when the time comes to use it. And consider currency and inflation risks that you might face in your personal situation. Remember, once again, personal finance is very personal. One last thing, get your will sorted. Don't put it off. Don't put your loved ones through the pain of having to deal with the state because you just never got your will sorted. Get your will sorted. That's step 0, actually. Even that's before you even worry about life insurance. Get your will done. As for MrsMetEish and I, we will be looking even closer at the dollar life insurance offered by the company we won't name, while knowing that in our current situation, it's more of a nice to have and not necessarily a necessity as it may be for some other people. One more time, not financial advice. Thanks for watching, guys. This was a pretty heavy topic and not something that's very nice to think about, but it is an inevitable part of life and something we do need to take care of. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, comment and subscribe down below, and ring the bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Also, share this video with someone who you think might need it. Let me know if you have a life insurance policy, who you have it with, and how much you're paying. We have 2 different life insurance policies with 2 different providers, and we pay 2 different fees. Mine are much higher for some reason. You can also follow MoneyMetEish on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere where MoneyMetEishes are. We are also launching the MoneyMetEish Patreon this week. If you would like to support the channel in a more material way, head over to the MoneyMetEish Patreon, linked below, to check out the different tiers and what they offer. The first members-only Zoom call will take place next week. Thanks again, and good night.